I woke with jasmine on my tongue, and not the flower. The memory of it. The way it used to bloom outside my window in the Sioux household. The way I would pick the white petals and press them between pages of poetry I was never supposed to read. But I am not in the Sioux household anymore. I am in the Gu mansion. I am Lin Wantong, 17 years old, married 3 months to Gu Yenji, the second son of the Gu family. And I remember everything but the first time he hit me. The way his hand came down across my cheek, because I dared to disagree with his mother at the dinner table. The second time, when I refused to stop reading those same poetry books. The third time, when I cried too loudly after he brought a concubine into our chambers. I remember the fever, the way my body burned as I lay on the cold brick floor, and no one came. Not the servants, who had learned to ignore me. Not my husband, who was entertaining guests in the front hall. Not even the old nanny who had raised me because she had died the year before, and I had been truly alone. That I remember dying. And now I am here, sitting at the dressing table, watching my own face in the bronze mirror. Young. Unmarked. The faint bruise that would have bloomed on my jaw tomorrow. It is not there yet. Because it has not happened yet. Because I have been given another chance. I touch my throat. That silence is a choice I am making. Not the silence of a broken woman. The silence of a woman who has seen the end and decided to walk a different path. Madam, says Chunhua, my maid, her voice hesitant. The master sent word. He will not be joining you for dinner tonight. He is with the new entertainers. In my first life, I would have wept. I would have sent a servant to fetch him, would have made a scene, would have demanded he remember his duty to his lawful wife. Instead, I nod. Chunhua blinks, waiting for more. There is nothing. That I pick up my brush and write on a slip of paper. I understand. Please have the kitchen save me some clear broth. I am not hungry for heavy things. She reads it, frowns, but bows and leaves. I am learning to make my silence a language. 3 days later, Gu Yenji comes to my chambers for the first time since our wedding night. He is handsome in that sharp, careless way of men who know their place in the world. His robes are dark blue silk, his hair pinned with a jade clasp that costs more than my entire dowry. He stands in the doorway looking at me. I am at my desk, writing. Not poetry. Never again poetry. I am copying the household accounts. A task my mother-in-law assigned me, thinking it beneath me, thinking I would fail. I have not failed. My numbers are neat, precise, beautiful. Wife, he says. I look up. I smile. I do not speak. He frowns. I said I would not come tonight, but I changed my mind. The entertainers were dull. They laughed too much. I tilt my head. I wait. He steps closer. Why are you not speaking? Have you nothing to say? No demands, no complaints. I pick up my brush and write. I have no complaints. Please sit. The tea is still warm. He reads it, and his frown deepens. You are writing to me now like a servant taking dictation. I have a sore throat, I write. It will pass. He stares at me a long moment. In my first life, this would have been the moment he grabbed my wrist, demanded I speak, accused me of playing games. But I am not playing games. I am speaking less and less because the words I used before were never heard anyway. Fine, he says finally, and he sits. Do we have tea? He talks about his work, about a land dispute the family is having with the Zhangs, about his father's deteriorating health. I listen. I nod. I refill his cup, and when he leaves, he pauses at the door. You are quiet, he says. I used to think you talked too much. Now I am not sure which is worse. He leaves. I sit alone and I feel nothing. Not sadness. Not anger. Just the clean, cold clarity of a woman who knows exactly what she's doing. The household begins to notice. My mother-in-law, Madame Gu, summons me to her courtyard on the 5th day. She is a thin woman with sharp eyes and sharper nails, a woman who built her authority on fear and tradition. Lin Wantong, she says, I hear you have not spoken a word in a week. I bow. I show her my slip of paper. I have a throat ailment, mother. I do not wish to spread it. Her eyes narrow. Ailment. And does my son know of this ailment? He has been informed. She snorts. Informed. You send him notes like a child passing secrets in the schoolroom. This is not how a wife behaves. A wife speaks. She manages. She makes herself useful. I write. I manage the accounts. I oversee the kitchens. I have not neglected my duties, she reads it, and her lips press thin. She cannot argue with the facts. I have been more efficient in my silence than I ever was with my voice. The accounts are balanced. The servants are disciplined. The kitchens run smoothly. Very well, she says. But see that this ailment heals soon. I have no use for a mute daughter-in-law. I bow and leave that I have no intention of healing. By the end of the first month, the servants whisper. The new madam is strange, they say. She moves like water, silent and smooth. She never raises her voice, never loses her temper, never weeps. The master, they say, is unsettled. He has started coming to her chambers more often, looking for something that I know what he is looking for. He is looking for the woman who used to argue with him. The woman who used to burn with life, who used to meet his coldness with fire. Without my voice, he is beginning to realize that fire was the only warmth in this frozen house. One night, he comes to me drunk. It is the 9th week of my silence. I am reading, not poetry, but a treatise on water management in the southern provinces. Useful knowledge. I am preparing for a future he does not know exists. Wife, he slurs, collapsing onto my couch. Wife, why do you not speak? I set down my book. I look at him. Do you used to tell me I was cruel? He says. You used to tell me I was neglectful. You used to cry and say I did not love you. He is crying now. I have never seen him cry, not in either life. His face is red, his eyes wet. I thought I did not want to hear it, he says. But now that I do not hear it, I keep waiting. I keep thinking you will open your mouth and tell me I am a fool. And you do not. And I do not know what to do. I pick up my brush. I write, you wanted peace. I am giving you peace. He reads it and lets out a sound. Half laugh, half sob. This is not peace. This is a tomb. He leaves. I return to my book. I am learning that silence is not emptiness. Silence is space. And in that space, I am growing stronger than I ever was before. The concubine arrives in the 3rd month. Her name is Chiu Ling, and she is everything I am not. Young, pretty, loud. She laughs at everything Gu Yenji says. She touches his arm when she speaks. She fills the rooms with chatter and perfumed. In my first life, I would have burned with jealousy. I would have confronted him, confronted her, made a scene that would have only made me look desperate. This time, I welcome her. I have tea prepared. I have her quarters arranged, the best ones in the eastern wing. I have her servants selected and trained. She comes to thank me, and she is nervous. I can see it in the way her hands tremble, in the way her eyes dart around my chambers. Madam, she says, I hope you do not think I mean to. I write, you are welcome here. I hope you will be happy. She reads it and her face crumples. She had expected fury. She had expected tears. She had expected me to fight, but instead, I am giving her everything she wants. Let her have him. Let her have his nights, his attention, his hot and cold moods. Let her discover what I already know, that Gu Yenji does not know how to love. He only knows how to want, and wanting is not the same thing. I am sitting in the garden when it happens. It is the 5th month. Spring has come to the Gu mansion, and the plum blossoms are falling. I am alone, which is how I prefer to be now. Alone with my thoughts, my plans, my silence. And then I see him. He is standing at the gate, looking in. A man I do not recognize. Tall, lean, with a face that has seen too much sun and too many roads. He wears a traveler's clothes, and he is looking directly at me. I do not know him. But something in my chest stirs. He does not approach. He simply looks, and then he is gone, swallowed by the crowd outside the gates. I tell myself it is nothing. A stranger. A coincidence. But that night, I cannot sleep. I keep seeing his face, that direct, unflinching gaze. And I realize that in all the months of my silence, in all the months of watching Gu Yenji unravel, I have not felt a single thing for him, but for this stranger, this man whose name I do not know. I feel something. I feel a flicker of life. I begin to see him everywhere, not in the mansion. That would be impossible. The Gu household is a fortress, its walls thick, its gates guarded.
But I take walks now.
I walk to the market, to the temple, to the river. I walk because silence demands movement, and movement demands air. And he is always there. At the market, he is buying tea from a vendor. At the temple, he is lighting incense. At the river, he is standing on the bridge, looking down at the water. I never approach him. I never speak to him. But I let myself look. And that is enough. The 8th month, Guyenji is unraveling faster now. I see it in the way his hands shake when he lifts his tea. I see it in the dark circles under his eyes, in the way he snaps at servants, in the way he comes to my chambers every night, desperate for something I will not give him. Speak to me, he begs one evening. He is on his knees. I have never seen him on his knees, not in either life did I write. What would you like me to say? Anything. Anything at all.
Tell me you hate me. Tell me you love me.
Tell me the weather is too hot. Just say something. I write. The weather is too hot. He laughs, but it is a broken sound. You mock me. You sit there with that serene face, and you mock me. I write. I am not mocking you. You asked for a sentence. I gave you one. He stares at the paper, and his face does something strange. He is not angry. He is afraid. You are leaving me, he says. Not with your body. With something else. Something I cannot see or touch. You are already gone. He is not wronged. That night, Xiaoling comes to my chambers. She is crying. Madam, she says, he came to me last night and called me by your name.
I do not react.
I wait. He has never done that before, she continues. He looks at me, and I can see he is looking through me. He is looking for you. She is afraid, I realize. Not of me, of him. Of the man she married, who is slowly becoming a stranger to himself. I write, you can leave. I will not stop you. She reads it, and her eyes go wide. Leave, but I have nowhere to go. My family sold me to him. I have no dowry, no. I write, I will give you money. Enough to start a new life. You do not have to stay. She stares at me. Why would you do that? I am your rival. I took your husband's attention. I write, you took nothing. He gave it freely, and he will give it freely again to someone else. That is who he is. You deserve more. She reads it, and her tears come faster. She is young. She is lost. She reminds me of myself in my first life. I give her a pouch of silver. I watch her leave, and in the morning, when Guyenji comes looking for her, I tell him nothing. I keep walking. The river becomes my place. I go there every afternoon, sit on the same stone, watch the water move. It does not speak, and I do not speak, and somehow we understand each other. And then one day, he comes to the stranger. He walks up to me and sits on the stone beside me. Not too close. Just close enough that I can feel his presence. You are the silent one, he says. His voice is low, rough. The voice of a man who is used it sparingly. I nod. I have seen you at the temple, he says. You never pray. You just sit. I have been trying to figure out what you are thinking. I take out my brush and my paper. I have learned to carry them always. What do you think I am thinking? He reads it and smiles. It is a slow smile, like the sun rising. I think you are thinking about escape. My heart stops. Then it starts again. Faster. Why would I want to escape? Because you do not belong there, he says, nodding toward the Gu mansion. Your eyes are too alive for that place. I look at him. Really look at him. His eyes are brown, deep, kind. His hands are calloused, the hands of a man who works. He is not a scholar. He is not a merchant. He is something else entirely. Who are you? I write. My name is Xinwei, he says. I am a traveler. I have been walking the roads for 3 years now. Why? Because I am looking for something. I do not know what it is yet, but I will know when I find it. He looks at me. I think I just found it. That night, I lie in my bed, and I do not sleep. Xinwei. His name is Xinwei. I repeat it to myself, feeling the shape of it on my tongue, even though I never said it aloud. He is a stranger. I know nothing about him. He could be a criminal. He could be a spy. He could be anyone, but when he looked at me, he saw me, not the Gu daughter-in-law. Not the silent madam. Not the woman who refuses to speak. Me. At the 9th month, Guyenji's mother falls ill. It is a sudden thing. One day she is sharp and commanding, the next she cannot rise from her bed. The doctors come and go. They prescribe herbs, acupuncture, prayers. Nothing works. I visit her. She is thin now, thinner than before. Her eyes are still sharp, but they are wearied. Lin Wantong, she says, her voice a whisper. I have been unkind to you.
Sit beside her.
I take her hand. You have been too silent, she says. I thought it was weakness, but I see now it is strength. I write, rest, mother. Do not speak, she laughs. A dry, rattling sound. Do not speak, that is all I have done for 60 years. I have spoken and spoken and spoken, and what has it brought me? A sick body, a cold sun, a house full of silence. Her eyes find mine. You knew what he was, and you chose a different way. I do not write anything. I just hold her hand. Take care of him, she says. Not because he deserves it, but because otherwise, this family will burn to the ground. I nod. She dies 3 days later. The household falls into mourning. Gu Yenji is a man possessed. He drinks. He rages. He locks himself in his study and does not come out for days. And in the chaos, I find my opportunity that I have been preparing. For months, I have been sending small amounts of silver to a merchant in the southern city. I have been building connections. I have been learning about the world outside these walls. The Gu mansion is a cage, but cages have doors, and I have found the key. I meet Shinwei again at the river. I have to leave, I tell him. I have written it on my paper. I am going south. He reads it and nods. I know. I have been waiting for you to say that. You knew, I told you. Your eyes are too alive for that place. They have been saying goodbye for months. I write, will you come with me? He looks at me, and his smile is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. I thought you would never ask. The night of my escape is the night of Gu Yenji's drinking. He has been in the main hall for hours, toasting the memory of his mother with one cup after another. The servants are distracted. The guards are lax. The household is asleep in its grief. I move through the corridors like a shadow. I have prepared everything. A bag with clothes, silver, my brushes, and paper. A letter for Gu Yenji, sealed and placed on my desk. It says, I am not coming back. Do not look for me, that I do not tell him where I am going. I do not tell him why. I do not tell him about Shinwei. I owe him nothing. The back gate is unguarded. I slip through it, and the night air hits my face. Cold, clean, freed, and there, waiting in the darkness, is Shinwei. He is a horse. One horse. He holds out his hand to me. Are you sure? He asks. I take his hand. Never been more sure of anything. We ride through the night. The horse is strong and fast, and Shinwei guides it with a confidence that tells me he has done this many times before. I hold onto his waist, my face pressed against his back, and I feel the wind rushing past us.
We do not speak.
There is no need. By dawn, we have reached the edge of the city. The Gu mansion is far behind us. Shinwei stops the horse at a small inn. He helps me down, and I see that my hands are shaking. Not from fear. From something else. Excitement. Rest here today, he says. We'll travel again tonight. It is safer in the dark. I nod. I cannot speak, that I realize I have not spoken a single word aloud in months. Dan is modest.
Clean.
The innkeeper is an old woman who does not ask questions. She gives us a room with 2 beds, and she brings us tea and rice. I sit on the bed and look at my hands. That I am freed. The word feels strange in my mind.
Free.
I have never been free. Not in my father's house, not in my husband's house, not anywhere. And now I am. Shinwei sits across from me. He is watching me with that quiet gaze of his. Are you afraid? He asks. I take out my brush and paper.
No.
Are you? He laughs. I have been afraid every day for 3 years. It is what keeps me alive. What are you afraid of? Being found, he says. Being caught. Being forced back to a life I do not want. I look at him. Who is looking for you? He hesitates. And then he tells me that Shinwei is not a traveler by choice. He is a fugitive. He was a soldier once in the Northern Army. He saw things, terrible things. His commander ordered the massacre of a village. Women, children. He refused to obey. He tried to stop it. He was branded a traitor. A death warrant was issued. He has been running for 3 years. I understand, I write. I was a prisoner too. He reads it, and his face softens. I know. That is why I came to you. Because I was a prisoner. No, he says. Because you escaped. Even before you left that house, you escaped. That takes something. Something most people do not have. He reaches out and takes my hand. I think we are the same kind of animal, he says. The kind that cannot be caged. We travel for a week. We move at night, rest by day. We pass through small towns, villages, farmland. The landscape changes. The north is flat and dry. The south is green and wet. The air smells different, like rain, like flowers, like life. Shunwei talks to me as we ride. He tells me about his childhood, his family, his dreams. He tells me about the war, about the things he saw, about the nightmares that still wake him at night. I listen. I write. I show him my words, and one night, when we stop to rest under a grove of bamboo, he takes my face in his hands and looks into my eyes. I want to hear your voice, he says. I shake my head. Not for them, he says. For me. Just one word. Your name. Your name is the only thing I want to hear. I look at him. At his eyes, his hands, his heart. I open my mouth. My throat is tight. The muscles are unused. And then I say it. Lin. Just my family name. Just one syllable. But it is enough. He smiles. He kisses my forehead. Lin, he repeats. Thank you. The southern city is everything I imagined, and more. It is alive. The streets are crowded with merchants, performers, monks, children. The air is thick with the smell of frying food and burning incense. The buildings are taller, brighter, painted in colors I have never seen before. Shunwei finds us a room above a tea shop. The owner is a widow named Auntie Chen. She takes one look at me and asks no questions. You are safe here, she says. This is a place for people who need to disappear. I write. Thank you. She reads it and nods. You write. That is good. Words are safer than voices sometimes. I settle into my new life. I do not write poetry. I write accounts. I offer my services to the merchants in the street, balancing their books, tracking their debts. My numbers are clean and precise. They pay me in silver and in food. Shunwei works at the docks. He carries cargo, repairs nets, does whatever needs to be done. He comes home tired and smelling of fish and river water, but he comes home. 3 months passed, and I have not thought of Guyenji in weeks. The Gu mansion feels like a dream, a distant nightmare that happened to someone else. I have become someone else. I walk the streets with my head high. I speak when I need to, short sentences, simple words. I have learned that silence was never the goal. It was just the beginning. The goal was to find myself. And I have found her. She is not the woman who died on that cold brick floor. She is not the woman who wrote poems and cried. She is a woman who can balance an account, who can bargain with a merchant, who can walk through a crowded market and feel not fear, but joy. Shunwei and I sleep in separate beds. We do not touch. We do not speak of love, but every morning he makes tea for me. And every night he lights a lamp by my window so I can read. That is love enough. Then the letter comes. It is delivered by a messenger in official robes. He finds me at the tea shop, bows deeply, and places the envelope on the counter. From the Gu mansion, he says. For Lin Wantong. My blood turns cold. I take the letter. I open it with shaking hands. It is from Guyenji. Wife. I know where you are. I have known for 2 months. I did not come for you because I thought you would return on your own. You have not returned. I am coming for you now. I will arrive in the southern city in 1 week. I expect to find you waiting for me. If you are not there, I will burn this city down until I find you. You belong to me. You have always belonged to me. And I will never let you go. Guyenji. I read it 3 times. Each time, the words burn deeper. Shunwei comes home and finds me standing in the middle of the room, the letter in my hand. What is it? He asks. I hand it to him. He reads it. His face goes pale. We need to leave, he says. Tonight.
No.
He looks at me. Lin. No, I say again. My voice is steady. I am done running. I ran from his house. I ran from his name. I am not running anymore. Lin, you heard what he said. He will burn this city. He will try, I say. But I will not let him. I look at Shun Wei. I take his hand. I spent my first life afraid of that man. I spent my second life silent, planning my escape. I will not spend the rest of my life running from him. Then what will you do? I smile. It is not a kind smile. It is the smile of a woman who has nothing left to lose. Wait for him to come. Gu Yenji arrives on the 7th day that I am sitting in the tea shop when he walks through the door. He is thinner than I remember. His robes are expensive, but rumpled. His eyes have a wild look, like a man who has not slept in weeks. He sees me. His face twists. Wife, he says. The word is a weapon. I do not stand.
I do not bow.
I look at him with the calm I have cultivated over a year of silence. You left me, he says, crossing the room in 3 quick strides. You left me without a word. Do you have any idea what that did to me? I write on my paper. I imagine it was unpleasant. He reads it and his face goes red. Unpleasant, unpleasant. I have been humiliated. The entire household knows my wife ran away. The entire city knows. I have been a laughingstock. You were already a laughingstock, I write. You just did not know it. He slams his hand on the table. Cups rattle. Tea spills, but you will come back with me, he says. You will come back and you will speak. You will tell everyone you made a mistake. You will beg my forgiveness. And I will consider granting it. I write, No, 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 you cannot refuse me. I am your husband. You are my wife. You belong to me. I write, I belong to no one. He grabs my wrist. His grip is painful. This is the man who hit me in my first life. This is the man who let me die. I do not flinch. Let go of her. The voice comes from the doorway. Shun Wei is standing there. He is still in his work clothes, still smelling of the docks. His hands are fists at his sides. Gu Yenji laughs. And who is this your lover you left me for a dock worker? I am the man who is going to break your arm if you do not let her go. Gu Yenji releases me. He turns to face Shun Wei fully. You have no idea who I am, he says. I am the second son of the Gu family. I have money. I have connections. I could have you killed with a single word. Shun Wei steps closer. I have been a fugitive for 3 years. I have killed men with my bare hands. I have seen things that would make you weep. Your money does not scare me. They stare at each other. The tension in the room is thick enough to cut. I stand up. I walk between them. I write. Both of you. Stop. Gu Yenji looks at the paper. You write to him too. You write to him like you wrote to me. I write. He listened. You did not. At the words hit him like a physical blow. His face goes pale. I write. I am not going back with you. I am not your wife anymore. I stopped being your wife the night you hit me. I stopped being your wife the night you brought a concubine into our chambers. I stopped being your wife the night I died on that cold floor, and no one came. He reads it and his hands start to shake. You did not die. You're standing right here. I write, I died, and I was reborn. And this time, I am not yours. Gu Yenji sways on his feet. He looks at Shun Wei. He looks at me. For the first time, I see something new in his face. It is not anger. It is not shame. It is fear. 1 week, he says finally. I give you 1 week to reconsider. If you are not at the city gates by sunset on the 7th day, I will do what I promised. I will burn this city down around you. He turns and walks out. The door slams behind him. Shun Wei takes my hand.
Lin.
We need to leave.
Now.
He is not bluffing. I have seen men like him before. They would rather destroy everything than admit they have lost. I write, I know that. Then why are we still standing here? I write, because I am not running. He looks at me, and I see the fear in his eyes. Not for himself. For me. Then what are you going to do? I write, meet him at the city gates in 7 days. And give him what he deserves. The next 6 days are a blur. I visit every merchant I have worked for. I tell them the situation. I tell them the Gu family is coming. I tell them my husband intends to burn the city unless I surrender. They do not run. They do not panic. They listen and they nod and they ask one question. What do you need us to do? I write. I need you to stand with me. They do. By the 6th day, I have gathered a small army of merchants, dockworkers, traders, and shopkeepers. They are not soldiers. They are not fighters. They are ordinary people who have chosen not to be afraid. Shun Wei organizes them. He knows how to move people. He knows how to position them. He was a soldier after all. And I lead them. The seventh day I walk to the city gates with Shun Wei on my left and the crowd behind me. The sun is setting, painting the sky orange and red. It looks like fire. And there at the gates is Gu Yenji. He has brought men.
20 of them.
Armed with swords, dressed in black. They stand in formation behind him, professional and cold. He is dressed in his finest robes. He has tried to look like a lord, like a man in control. But I see his eyes. They are not the eyes of a man who is certain. They are the eyes of a man who is desperate. Lin Wantong, he says. You came. I stop 10 paces from him. I write on my paper and hold it up so he can read it. I did not run. I have never run from you. I am not here to surrender. I am here to tell you that you are done. Done, he laughs. But it is hollow. I am the second son of the Gu family. I have more power than you can imagine. I write. You have power. I have something better. What I write, I have the truth. I step aside. The crowd behind me steps forward. Men and women, young and old, merchants and laborers. They hold up scrolls, papers, ledgers. I write. These are the accounts of your family's business. They show the bribes, the stolen land, the unpaid debts. Every illegal thing you have ever done is written here. Gu Yenji's face goes white. You could not have. I write. I copied everything before I left. Every page, every number. I have sent copies to the magistrate, to the governor, to the emperor's inspector. He stares at me. His mouth opens and closes like a fish. I write. You are done, Gu Yenji. The law will catch you. The world will know what you are. You. His voice breaks. You were silent. You never spoke. You never said a word. I write. Silence was not weakness. It was patience. I was waiting for the right moment. The men behind him start to look uncertain. They look at me. They look at him. They do not know what to do. I write. Go home. Save yourself. There is nothing left for you here. One of his men steps forward.
Sir.
We should leave. Gu Yenji does not move. He is staring at me with a look I have never seen before. It is not hatred. It is not even anger. It is emptiness. All this time, he says, his voice barely a whisper. All this time, I thought you were broken. I write. I was never broken. I was waiting. Ayeni of Part 4 PRD 5. The fire and the DAW in Gu Yenji does not leave. He stands at the gates as the sun sinks below the horizon. His men wait behind him, but they are shifting nervously now. They want to go. He will not let them. She is bluffing, he says loudly. She is a woman. She has no power. She is nothing. I step forward. I do not write. I speak. You are wrong. I say it. My voice is rough from disuse. It cracks on the words. But it is mine. I own it. Gu Yenji's eyes go wide. You can speak. I have always been able to speak, I say. I chose not to, because every word I ever said to you was a waste of breath. He takes a step back. You are not. I am everything you never saw, I say. I am the woman who balanced your accounts. I am the woman who managed your household. I am the woman who watched you drink yourself into ruin and did nothing to stop you. Because you deserved it. His men are looking at him now. Not with loyalty. With disgust. You have nothing, I say. No money. No reputation. No family. Your mother is dead. Your father disowned you years ago, and you did not even know. I knew. I knew everything. I wrote every letter. I read every report. And I sat in my silence and watched you destroy yourself. He falls to his knees. Not out of respect. Out of collapse. Please, he says. Please. I will do anything. I will. You will do nothing, I say. You will let me go. You will crawl back to whatever is left of your life. And you will spend the rest of it knowing that a woman you tried to break outlived you. Shun Wei steps up beside me. His hand finds mine that we turn and walk away that the crowd parts for us. They are cheering. They are crying. They are celebrating a victory that belongs to all of them. That night, I sit in the tea shop with Shinwei. The room is quiet. The lamplight flickers. Outside, the city is celebrating. Fireworks burst in the sky. People are singing in the streets, but in here, it is just us. How do you feel? Shinwei asks. Did I look at him? I think about the answer. Tired, I say. And light. Like I've been carrying a mountain on my shoulders my whole life, and someone just took it off. He smiles. That is what freedom feels like. I take his hand. I am sorry I did not tell you about the letters. About the accounts. I was planning this even before I left. You did not trust me yet, he says. I understand. I shake my head.
No.
That is not it. I did not want to drag you into it. You were running from your own past. I did not want to add my fight to yours. He squeezes my hand.
Lin.
Your fight is my fight. That is what it means. You and I, we are the same kind of animal. I remember those words. From the night we escaped. From the night we became something more. Where do we go now? I asked. Anywhere, he says. Everywhere. There is a whole world out there, Lin. A world we have never seen. A world that has never tried to cage us. I smile. Together, he lifts my hand and presses a kiss to my palm. Together. Always. The next morning, I do something I have not done in over a year, that I open a fresh scroll of paper. I dip my brush in ink. I write it, not accounts. Not letters. Poetry. The words pour out of me. They are not elegant. They are not polished. They are raw and rough and real, but they are mine. Shinwei watches me from the doorway. He is smiling. What are you writing? He asks. Did I look down at my scroll? Did I write one final line? Asterisk. The silence was not an ending. It was a beginning. Asterisk. And then I set down my brush. Do we leave the city that afternoon? The crowd gathers at the gates to see us off. Merchants, laborers, families. They wave. They cheer. They call my name. I am not Lin Wantong anymore. I am not the silent madam of the Gu mansion. I am not the woman who died on a cold floor. I am someone new. Someone who is forged in silence and fire. Shinwei helps me onto the horse. I settle behind him. I wrap my arms around his waist. The city gates open before us. Ready? He asks. Did I look back once? The city is shining in the afternoon light. The people are still waving. The smoke from the fireworks has cleared, and Gu Yenji is nowhere to be seen. He has faded into the past. Where he belongs. Did I turn forward? Ready? I say that we ride out into the wide, open world. That I learned that silence is not the absence of voice. It is the presence of patience. I learned that love is not the loudest thing in the room. It is the quietest thing that stays. That I learned that the people who try to break you are never ready for what you become when you rebuild. Gu Yenji wanted my silence to be his victory, but my silence was never about him. It was about me. That I gave him silence, and he spent a lifetime begging for my voice. That silence was my surrender. Until it became my sword. If this story moved you, please like, comment, and subscribe below. Share your own story of finding your voice. We are all reborn in our own way.